And of Stephen A, he has this idea that him and Jason Tatum, meaning Giannis and Jason Tatum, that pairing would be potentially a championship duo.
You're the Boston Celtics. Pairing Jason Tatum with Giannis Antetokounmpo is a championship caliber combination. Make no mistake about that. If you believe you have the pieces to ultimately compete for a championship, short of acquiring Giannis Antetokounmpo, you go out there, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Perk, former Celtic, do you agree with Stephen A?
You damn right I do. You damn right I do. Listen, Tatum and Giannis is, that's giving me, KG and Paul Pierce vibes. They're guaranteed to win the NBA championship. You might have to give up Jalen Brown, but when you put that mixture in, especially with the growth that we saw from Jason Tatum, for us being able to be that point forward caliber player when he returned, because I was watching the assists. I was watching him be a playmaker. I watch a guy grow from being sidelined with an Achilles tear. If you're able to get Giannis paired with Jason Tatum and balance off that Joe Mazzulla system along with Keaton Payton Pritchard and Derek White, it's going to be hell in hot water for the rest of the Eastern Conference and the entire NBA.
Everything going right, yeah, it's hard to disagree, but Giannis hasn't played more than 68 games in a season in any of the last 9 years. He won. One time in the last 9 years, he's topped 68 games. Like, injuries are a concern. He's getting older. He's going to be 32 in December, which doesn't seem old, but he's almost got 1,000 games under his belt when you factor in the postseason. There's still plenty there. And again, Perk makes a great point. Like, if you're getting everybody healthy and ready to go and you don't have any of these hiccups, that's a nasty team to try to defend. But you look at what Boston had so much success with. Jalen Brown would be gone in this equation. Drew Holiday's not with them anymore. Al Horford's not with them anymore. Kristaps Porzingis isn't with them anymore. They got some young guys they got to develop. A lot of money is going to go into Tatum and Giannis, and I wonder if Giannis is going to be able to stay healthy enough to be able to deliver on that late in the season. So there's a lot to get excited about, but I got some pause on that.
I need to see more. And by more, I mean, I'm looking at this Joe Mazzulla coach team. We know they like to shoot the three. You can't drop Giannis in and say we're going to shoot 53s a game the way that they've done the past few years, and that's been one of their superpowers. Giannis nor Jason Tatum are great three-point shooters by percentage. Which guy's the alpha? Which guy's going to take the step back? Jason Tatum is coming off this Achilles. What does he look like? He faded down the stretch of the playoff series because he's not fully back. Giannis' health thing, we've talked about that. The comparison for me with Giannis is Kevin Garnett. All those years, all those miles in Minnesota, maybe how many years does he have left playing at this particular level? Running, jumping, athleticism, playing with force. There's only so long you can play like that. Secondarily, these things take time. When you're saying championship combination immediately, when you look at some of the big trades in recent NBA history, continuity has gotten teams through. Denver, it took them a minute for their continuity. Oklahoma City, it took a minute for their continuity. The New York Knicks traded for Karl Towns a year ago, and it took them 2 years to get to the NBA Finals and get to putting those pieces together. I don't think this is Tatum, Giannis just add water. Need to see more.
Every single time Durant's on somewhere, we look at that team and we elevate them. It's like it takes time. It takes time.
No, it don't. No, it don't. It didn't take time for us in 2008. That's why I said this is Paul Pierce and KG all over again.
Okay.
20 years ago.
We got a break.
Tapping her phone and casually strolling in an hour and a half late. McNutt, great to have you.
It was a long day yesterday. It's chill. It's Friday.
Number one, is it McNutt's to say the Knicks will repeat as champs next year?
Yeah, and these are my guys, and I'd love to see it. But we've got 8 champions in 8 years. Will they be the first to buck the trend? It just feels like the league is not really designed for dynasties, repeats right now, and that's okay. Could they buck it? We'll have to wait and see. But right now, I'm going with the pattern.
Their starting 5 played about 88% of the available regular season games. That's extraordinary health. McNutt, number 2. If I said LeBron will leave the Lakers this offseason, is that McNutt's?
No, it's not McNutt's at all. I'm not 100% sure where he's going. I don't know that. But he could do whatever he wants at this point. And it's clear that the Lakers kind of need to begin to move into their future, which in the long term will not include LeBron. It's been a fantastic career, but it's wrapping up.
The guy has been the ultimate content machine. Like, I don't know what we're going to do when he's gone. Maybe we go down to 3 days a week. Finally, is it McNutt's to say Giannis will be on a new team next season?
Nah, it's not at all. This seems like we are Untenable is a strong word, but I feel like we're heading there, even though maybe Giannis himself might not want to say it. But at this point, the back and forth and I'll let Vinny elaborate on that. Like, it just, move on. Like, move on. He brought a championship to the city, but it clearly is not working any longer.
All right, let's get Windy and Vince Goodwill in here as well for this conversation. Windy, I want to begin with you. Is Giannis the biggest chip everyone is waiting for this offseason in the NBA?
Absolutely, without question, because even though there may only be 2 or 3 teams that are truly in the Giannis bidding, when you have a trade of this magnitude with potentially a bunch of pieces moving around, very often there's cascading side deals. A classic example of this was a couple of years ago when Dame Lillard was traded. We had no idea where he was going. He goes to Milwaukee, but that ended up leading Drew Holiday to be rerouted to the Celtics. And that Drew Holiday trade to the Celtics was one of the most consequential moves of that entire offseason. And the Celtics didn't even know it was going to be possible until they saw Dame Lillard get moved. So when you have a team like the Los Angeles Lakers that have enormous amounts of salary cap space and they're not sure how they're going to spend it, they're watching this Giannis situation very closely, because even though they're not going to get Giannis, a trade could end up falling into their lap that it could end up really helping them.
The timing of these situations is always fascinating because of what it means, not for the teams involved, but for everyone else with the ancillary ripple effects. What do you think happens if a Giannis trade doesn't go down soon?
It better. Because, hey, what are we going to be talking about if it doesn't happen? But secondarily, if you think about it, this thing is dragged on for so long. Will he, won't he? And it doesn't seem like there's a future for Giannis in Milwaukee as far as where he needs to go. Secondarily, if you're one of these other teams, you're Boston, if you're Miami, you can't make contingency plans. Like, when you get Giannis, you know what you also have to get? Shooting. You know what you also have to get? Maybe another backup big. You can't go and get those things until you get the big piece and you know that you actually have the big piece, and especially if it's Miami. Let's say it's Miami. They probably have to get a third team involved. Who's that third team going to be? Does that involve Tyler Hero? What does that mean? So a lot of NBA business cannot start until this piece of business is handled.
Yeah, I'm with Vinny. It needs to get done sooner rather than later. I don't know exactly what it looks like, but you definitely have to get pieces around Giannis. And I also think you've got to make sure that you've got the personality pieces that are going to be required. I mean, Giannis is a big-time superstar. He comes with big-time superstar things. We'll see. I'm just not sure where he is at this point in his career. Is he still a very valuable asset? 100%. I mean, he's a guy that is constant conversation in the MVP race when you just look at it statistically. But we've not seen him really perform in a postseason in 3 years now. So I'm really fascinated to see what teams think they're going to do if they make this move.
Health ultimately a concern as well. Windy, final word. Jump back in here.
Yeah, so I feel like the whole league to a certain extent is going to change when Giannis is moved. And I do believe he will be moved. And when that happens, there's going to be a change in the balance of power. The team that acquires him is going to become on some level a contender. And so that's why we spend all of this time paying attention to it. But when you're trading a player that makes $50 million in this modern day and age, it's extraordinarily complicated. And that's why it's very tedious. But every single day that goes by, these negotiations, it's because there's so